What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to do custom message boxes for Tkinter and Python. All right, guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to look at making custom message boxes. But before we get started, if you like this video, want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. All right, so it is Friday here in Vegas. Man, it's been a long week. I'm ready for the weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I am going to take a break and not do hardly any work this weekend. Mostly no work this weekend. I'll probably still do some work this weekend. Anyway, in this video, we're going to look at making custom message boxes. So I get asked a lot how to change things in message boxes. So we've looked at message boxes a lot in the past. I've got a couple of videos on them in the playlist. Check the comment section below for a link to the playlist if you haven't seen those. And you know, we've got info message boxes, we've got alert message boxes, all kinds of message boxes that we can use that come with Tkinter. But you can't modify them. You can't really change the background color. You can't change anything in them. They just are what they are. And there's like 6 or 8 of them you can choose from based on what you need, but they all pretty much do the same thing. And like I said, you can't really change them. So I get asked all the time, hey, how do I change these things? How do I use different colors? How do I, make them say different things and stuff like that? And you can make them say different things a little bit, but that's about it. You can't really modify them any other way. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to modify them. And the secret is you can't. You cannot modify those things. Those are like Windows and Mac system boxes, right? System message boxes, and you can't really change them. But what we can do is make our own message boxes, sort of fake message boxes. And that's what we're going to do in this video. We see in this right here, we've got this one. I'm using this ridiculous picture of my head for the little picture. We've got different color buttons. The whole thing is green. The text is white. It looks ridiculous, but you can, change this however you want. I'm going to show you how to do this. If we click yes, our little program says you click yes. If we do this again, it pops back up again. We click no. Now it says you click no. So that's what we're going to look at in this video. So I'm in msg.py, short for message.py. I'm using the Sublime Text Editor and the Git Bash terminal as always. So I've just got some basic starter code, and this is the old way we used to do it. Right? We would come up here and go from Tkinter, import message box. And then here we would just pick the type of message box that you want. For instance, the show info one. And like I said, there's a bunch of these. I've done videos on them in the past. You can check those out if you're interested. If I run this, Python message.py, well, it popped up on my other monitor. You can't even see it, but this thing popped up. This is just the show info regular message box. And when we click it, it goes away. We've just got our little app here. Right? So that's the only way to do it. And like I said, for a lot of things, that's just fine. And like I said, there's many types of message box. You can do alerts, you can do danger, you can do show info like we just did. There's a whole bunch of them, but we can't really modify them. So how do we modify them? Well, this is a completely hacky thing. So we're just going to get rid of that completely. And we're going to get rid of this thing completely. So now we've just got our basic starter code. We've got our root instance here. We've got our main loop. And that's pretty much it. So right off the bat, let's create a button right in the middle of our app. And I'm just going to paste this in instead of typing it because we all know how to do buttons. So I'm going to call it my button. It's going to be a button. We're going to put it in root. The text will say click me and the command will say clicker, right? And we'll just pad Y this to 50 to really push it down the screen. So now let's create this function. So let's define our clicker function. And what we want to do here is create a whole new window. We just want to create a new Tkinter window. And we'll just make it small, like a message box size, and then we can do anything we want to it, right? It'll pop up when we click the button, and we have complete control over it. It won't be a message box, but it will be a square box that looks just as much like a message box, and we can do anything we want to. So I'm going to call this pop, short for pop-up, and this is going to be a top-level widget, and we want to put it in root. And we've looked at top-level widgets before, right? This is just a way to create a second window in your app. So check the playlist if you want to see videos on that. So when this thing closes, we want to be able to destroy this window. So that means back here in this program, outside of this function, we need to access pop. So we need to make this global. So let's go global pop. And then just inside of here, you can do anything we want. So let's go pop.title, and let's just call this my pop-up. This will be the title bar, right, for our little window here. Let's go pop.geometry. And now we can set this to whatever height and width we want. So I'm going to go 250 by 150. Make it just a little small box, right? And then outside of here, you can do anything you want. So let's go pop.config. And let's make this background equals green. Like this is a ridiculous color, but you know, make it any color you want. And that's all there is to it. So if we want a little picture in there, we can go global, and I'm gonna call this picture me. It's a little picture of my head. Now we have to make this global because inside of functions, when you work with images, you have to make them global, or else Tkinter's like garbage function sort of sweeps them up and it confuses it. So we always have to make our images global inside a function. So global me, and I'm gonna make this a photo image. And the file for this thing it's just in my images directory. And I've called this me_head_green.png. And you know, if you've been watching these videos for a while, I have a directory called images inside of our GUI directory here. So if we hit ls to list the stuff in here, we see here's this images directory. Inside of there, I just throw images from time to time. And I put that little head image that we looked at the beginning of this video. So there's that. And now we can do anything else we want. So let's create a label in here. I'm gonna call this pop_label. And this is gonna be a label. We wanna put this in our pop window. And we want the text to be, would you like to proceed? Whatever. And we can do anything we want to this too, right? So if we wanna make the background color of this thing, of this label, for instance, green like everything else, we could do that. We can make the foreground color white if we want the text of this thing to be white. We can give it a font equals, I don't know, let's go Helvetica. And let's make this like size 12 or so, whatever we want. And that's all there is to it. So then we can go pop_label.pack. And let's give this a pad Y of like 10, just kind of push it down screen a little bit. And now we want to put all of this stuff on the screen, our image and our couple of buttons, right? So I'm going to create a frame for this, and I'm going to call it my_frame. And this is going to be a frame. We want to put this in pop. And I want to make this background green as well. So everything in there will be green. So then let's go my_frame.pack. Give this a pad Y of, I don't know, 5 or something. Just push it down a little bit. Okay, so now we want to put our picture. So I'm going to call this me pic, and this is going to be a label, just like we put any sort of picture on the screen. And we want to put this in my frame. We want the image to equal me, because that's what we called it up here, right? And I don't want any border on this image, so I'm going to call this border width equals 0. And now we can me_pic. Let's .grid this. And I'm using grid because I want to put all these in one line and it's just sort of easier. We can go row equals 0, column equals 0. And let's give this a pad X of 10 to sort of push it apart from the other two buttons that we're about to create. And speaking of buttons, let's create now a couple of buttons. I'm going to call this one yes, and it's a button. We want to put it in my frame 2. We want the text to equal yes. And we want the command to equal a lambda. And we need to call this a lambda because we need to pass something in here. So when somebody clicks on that button, we want to pass yes or no into our other program, into like outside of this clicker function, because then we want to do something with it, right? So to pass parameters and functions using buttons, we know we have to do a lambda. And this is a lowercase l. I know it looks like a capital L. Tkinter or Sublime just does that, drives me crazy. So now we can call anything we want here. And let's create a function called choose or choice. Like what did we choose here when we clicked yes or no? We'll call it choice. And we want to pass in yes. And then maybe we want to change the background color of this button as well. Something ridiculous like orange, right? So, okay. Now let's yes.grid this guy. We want to put this in row equals 0, column equals 1. And now I'm just going to copy this guy. And let's do this again, only instead of calling it yes, let's call this one no. And we can go no here, and the text should be no. And the command should be, we want to pass no through the choice. And instead of orange, let's make this yellow. I'm trying to make this as ridiculous as possible. but obviously you're going to do, whatever colors you like. Okay, so that's looking good. Now, whenever we click the button, we want to do something. So down here, I'm going to create another label, call this my label. And this is going to be a label. And we want to put it in root. We want the text to equal nothing right now. And we want to my_label.pack. And let's give this a pad Y of like 20, just to push it down screen a little bit. Okay, so now we've clicked a button, right? And we're calling this choice function. So we need to create a choice function up here. So let's go define choice. And we need to pass something in here. So I'm just going to call this option, or option will work. Because remember down here, when we click this button, we're either passing a yes or a no string, right? So up here, option will become either yes or no. So inside of here, let's do an if statement. Let's say if option equals yes, right? Then what do we want to do? Well, let's just take my_label and .config that thing and change the text of it to, I don't know, you clicked yes, right? Else, my_label config, you clicked no. Okay, so now one more thing. Whenever we actually click one of these buttons, yes or no, this whole pop-up will still be there. We need to close it somehow. So when this function runs, let's just get rid of the pop window. So we can just go pop.destroy. And the only reason we can do that inside of this function is because right here we made it global. So we can access it right here. If we didn't make this global, this wouldn't work, right? That's why we made this global. So, okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and save this. Head over here to our terminal and let's run this guy. And when we do, we see click me. When we do, this thing pops up. Uh-oh, our yes button has disappeared. I suspect what happened, I forgot to change the column. So let's come down here. Yes, no, yes, right here, column 2. All right, so now it'll work. Let's try this again. It's Friday. We always make mistakes on Friday. That is a guarantee. Okay, so we have this stupid picture and it says yes, no. If we click this, it disappears. You clicked yes, we do it again. Pops up, click no. It says you click no, and it works. Now, I might want to put a little padding in here. So where are the buttons at here? Right here, let's go pad X equals like 10. And we'll do the same thing right here. Make it look a little bit better, even though it still looks ridiculous, right? All right, so click me. Okay, we got some space now. And just that easy. We click yes, you clicked yes, try it again. Click no, you click no. And just that easy. Now, obviously, you can change anything you want with this window, right? You can change the icon. It says here, my pop-up. You can change that. You can get rid of these things if you want. In the normal way, we do these with all windows in Tkinter, right? We can change this color to anything. We can use any sort of images, any sort of frames, any sort of layout we want. We can put a canvas in here and do canvasy things, right? Anything at all you want to make this pop-up look more like a pop-up, you have complete control over. And that's why we do it this way. Now, obviously, if you just need a basic message box, do it the old way. Use the message box widget, like I've done in many videos in the past. But if you want to get really creative, if you want an entry box in here that somebody can type something and then, click yes or no. So if you've got like a registration form that pops up, right? Do this for that, right? Check email addresses, check passwords, anything you want, you can do in this window. And it's just that easy. So that is our Friday sort of hacky way to get around the limitations of the message box system with Tkinter. I like this way very much. It gives you complete control, and it's always better to have control over these things, and now you do. So that's all for this video. If you'd like to, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So you pay just $49 to access all my courses, over 45 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 100,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.